What is up, game changers? Welcome to the end game. Today, this is a very important topic that I'm going to talk about, and it is all about how to give your power back, how to get your power back. What is your power? How do you lose your power? And in the end, I'm going to give away something special. I don't do a lot of giveaways. This time I do so, and this one's going to be special, and it's for everybody. So welcome to my channel. My name is Juniper Blue Mystique. I am an Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. I am, in fact, the one who brought about the Ascension. All of it plays out on this channel on which you find this video on, and it's not exactly what you think it would have been. There are so many lies and things of untruths that they have filled you with time and time and time again. And there's a lot of people out there who their motives are not pure as well. And so it's hard to decipher what is truth and what is not. But I guarantee you, I can prove to you everything I am saying. From bringing about the Ascension, I had my own awakening in 2019, a Kundalini awakening, which was not normal. I didn't even expect to have it. I was not on a spiritual path at the time. I was doing my master's work or my psychology work, working with children, raising my own kids. And that was it. And then all of a sudden, my life took a turn. Once I had my awakening, I started seeing things that I've never done before, never heard of anybody doing before. And I had never done healings on people before then. But once I did, all of a sudden, these things were just happening to and through me. I did not have to learn them from anybody. Spirit just showed me what I can do, and I just listened every time. I did healings on people that are not normal. They're medical grade. They're everything. Okay. When I do a healing on somebody, it's literally a master healing. Okay. And then from there, I started doing things to the earth. Now I would see images of the Bible and words popping out. I would see what you guys would call lizard people would be showing who they were. All of these things, which was really off the charts. I had no idea what was happening to me. I didn't know who I was yet until my whole awakening process through. And then I began a journey doing things like clearing Mount Shasta. I rose Atlantis, sat on Saturn, rose Atlantis, cleared my contract, started clearing Mount Shasta, which was not filled with light at all. It was filled with lots of souls and bloodshed. And part two of that is where I burned Archangel Samael, undoing the contract that he created. So what I have ended up doing is undoing all darkness from the beginning of time, all the way back to Adam and Eve. The lifetimes that I realized I was clearing out was Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus. This is very real. I have united all twin flames, which were those twin flames. And then every other twin flame should follow. I did have some mishaps on the journey. My original DM did not make it, and I almost didn't as well. But somehow I found strength in me I didn't know I had. And through every attack imaginable, I just kept going. I started activating pyramids all over the world. These are pyramids you've never heard of before, most likely, from Myanmar, Machu Picchu, Brazil, Budapest, Thailand, Kilimanjaro, Congo, Kenya, Ecuador, all over the globe. Okay. And that took me quite a while to do all of those. I brought down all Christ's light through the rays. United with my own twin flame a couple of times, but that was a painful experience. I did get a walk-in though, where I wouldn't be here. And then I cleared the contract from what happened to Jesus. He was murdered by John the Apostle. I know because I had to process his death. He was poisoned. That was why they called it the Last Supper. He did not die on a cross. He was poisoned with wine and bread from John the Apostle. And then they had Mary gather his blood in a cup, and they wrote a false contract. And that is why they would depict him on a false cross. And then they would get you all to pray to a false cross. Now I ask you, why would God want you to pray to death? That doesn't make sense to me, because God, my friends, is nothing but love, unconditional love. And in the new earth, we have to be pure love. Okay. So I talk about how I brought about the ascension. I cleared denial. I undid the false concept of time. I've shifted poles. I took us into 7D instead of 5D. Whoops. Because I just kept going in strength, and clearing all darkness. We've cleared Salem, Catholicism. It's all been undone. Okay. And so what essentially I did is I brought about the division of light and darkness, because all darkness is about to fall. And all of you have to heal all of that, your karma, darkness, and all of that, okay? And so why would it be important to take our power back? Aside from the ascension, why would it be important to take our power back? A lot of times we find that we give our power away, right? We give our power away. We don't even know why or how we do it. A lot of times it's for acceptance and love because we've been taught to judge, right? Everybody's been taught to judge. And so we're always afraid of being judged. Ego says that we have to do certain things to be accepted. I am my job. I am the money I make. I am all of these things. And all of these things are outside of God. Okay. And so the new earth, some of us have made it through. I actually do a heart review. I get your keys. I hold all the keys. And Spirit has said this time and time again. That is not a doubt. And then your karma has to be cleared. You have to be pure of heart and in your full power in the new earth, because the new earth, my friends, let me tell you, oh my goodness, it's not an easy journey either. Just because you get to the new world, the new earth, does not mean your journey is done. It's a whole remembering of who you are and how to create the world around you. And you have to be in your full power. But again, besides the ascension, how many of us are medication, like we can only exist off medications. We can only exist by somebody constantly telling us what is going on with us, what to do, what is wrong with us. We can only exist in a matrix world where I have to work this career, I have to do this job, have to pay these taxes, have to do this. It's an enslavement in every way, right? And then we have things like depression, anxiety, fear, all of these things that are not of God. And they exist because we've been existing in a world that does not exist. It's not real. And that's why they call it the Matrix. Okay, that is exactly why it's called the Matrix, is because it's fake, right? And people can see that as well. It was never of God. They created a false veil over Mount Shasta, filled with darkness so that you couldn't see God. And then they continually had you praying to a man who died, and you don't even know what happened. They tell you he died on a cross, but he didn't. They broke the cross because they separated all masculine and feminine twin flames of Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus. When I cleared the Nile, they told me who I was. They tell you who I was. And I upload these, but I also provide proof because some of it happens live on this channel, okay? And so it is essential, going through these energies, through these upcoming moons, through these portals, through everything that you do, that you call your power back. How do you call your power back? Well, in the path to righteousness that I have, I do that for you. I teach you how, and I heal you in it. So I would recommend you get healing to do so. But I'm going to tell you, to start paying attention to where you give your power away, first of all. What is power? Power is your ability to do things. You are a powerful creator, right? Power is where they say, hey, you have to do this. It's enslavement. Every bit of our power has been taken away. It's been sucked dry. We're given very minimal power to exist in this false matrix that was not reality at all, right? Was not reality at all. And so when you think about every which way you've given your power away, how does it feel to go to a job where you don't want to go sometimes, right? But if you don't, you get fired. Or if you were a single mom like I was, or a single dad, and you get sick and you have to call off work, or your kid is sick and you have to call off work, you get in trouble for that. You can get written up. I was fired one time for that. I had this baby that wasn't even mine dropped on my lap one time, and he was unfortunately exposed to a lot of drug use in the womb. He was not my child, but he just landed in my lap one time, and I had called my boss and I'm like, I can't come to work. And she straight said, that's not your kid. You're fired if you don't come. And I told her, kiss my ass. It's like, where do we give our power away, right? We give our power away to our children. We do that. We give our power away to our animals, right? It's not that we have to treat them less than, because they're not less than. It's not about that at all. That's a power struggle. When you realize we all have power in our own beautiful way, right? I should have power to call in money. I should have power to choose the hours in which I work every day. I should have power to be able to create from my heart space and bring joy into my world and not have anybody else tell me that I'm crazy for doing so. I should have power to be able to say, look, my things are real. I do healings live. I posted videos of proof, and to not have people say, oh, that's bullshit, and judge you, right? Our power has been taken away every minute since we've been born in this false existence of a world. We've been told we have to, we have to, we have to. And anything where your free will and your power is taken away is not of God, right? A lot of people will ask me, well, why would God allow suffering? God doesn't allow suffering. The only way to be in the new earth is through unconditional love, love of all, knowing that we are all connected. The only way to manifest is one true law and letting the rest go of union of all. We are all connected and we all affect each other. So highest and best for all. That is God, right? Knowing that differences is what makes the world go round. That's what's the beauty of everything. We shouldn't all be the same. That is God. Knowing that I can learn something from you and you can learn something from me, and it's a dance of beauty and creativity and love and joy and wonderment, that is God. The new earth, there will be no suffering. There will be no tears and division and separation of love. Nobody will be better than anybody else, right? We do, however, have to live in the land of God. The lays of the land, the law of love, universal love flow. And if you don't love yourself fully, if you can't look at others with the lens of unconditional love and be able to understand why people do the things they do without judgment, then you have healing to do, okay? Because in a new earth, we must be in our full power. We give our power away to financial institutions all the time. We give our power away to our friends and our loved ones and our kids, and usually with an underlying effect of being accepted, right? We're taught that if we don't do certain things, we won't be accepted. We will be shunned. If we don't do this, if we don't do that, we won't fit in this world around us, which is bullshit to begin with. And it's about to all fall. This I guarantee you. I opened up all 13 gates back to heaven, and it took me 4 painful years to do so. Took everything I had, and I almost died 3 times. But even in me doing that, through every gate, you must be able to see clearly. You must be able to choose love. Then you call back your power. These are ways you've given it away before through the shadow components. Okay, the shadow is actually an entity, right? You ever heard the saying of like the devil on one shoulder, the angel on another? Yeah, here you go. Okay, the shadow was actually the fallen angels. That was the original creator of the shadow, or who you would call El Diablo. And that is who I burned when I cleared Mount Shasta Part 2. So it's very important to know, okay? And then Fiji was the God portal. I opened up the God portal and I activated a pyramid under there. And what you don't realize is that angel fell from God. That is who manipulated you guys to do his will, right? To take you away from God, to get John the Apostle to murder Jesus, to get false entities and goddesses to manipulate Adam and Eve, to get Thoth to murder Horus. Like, it's constantly there, and it's always this manipulation, always through fear, through these horrible tactics that manipulate your free will. Okay, just like the V did. If you don't take this, you can't work. If you don't do this, you can't survive. Da 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 da. And when you buy a house, is it really even yours? Right? We have to pay taxes on it, even if it's fully paid off, and then they can still take it from you, even if you paid hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for a property. What you don't realize is how enslaved we all were. Nobody was in their full power. Well, not nobody. Most people are not in their full power on this planet. And as we rise, we must be able to be in our full power. Are you afraid to quit a job if it doesn't suit you because you can't pay your bills, which water and electricity and all the natural things of the earth should be free? When I repaired the crystalline grid underneath the pyramids, that I talked about. Electricity is a natural given source of this planet. It's actually provided through the energy of source, and the earth was cut off from that, with hence all these false power lines. Okay, and it's on these are part of the Egyptian hieroglyphs. These are part of the knowledge that was always once deep within you. And so how Do we recognize, first of all, where we give our power away? How do you give your power away every day? Think of your children. Are we afraid to discipline? What is discipline, right? What is punishment? Does it mean I have to smack my child? No. Children are quite receptive. They understand more than you think you do. You think they do, but however, how do we get mad at them when they're learning, right? We can't expect them to know everything. Our job is to teach them every step of the way. Everything is an opportunity to learn. We teach from the knowledge we have gained. And if we're afraid to do that, if we're afraid to be honest with our children, if we're afraid to parent through love, unconditional love, not tough love. Tough love is not of God. Tough love is not love at all. You see what I'm saying? Is like we don't realize how much we give our power away. Okay. Are you afraid to take something from your child if they're not complying? My kids, for instance, if their grades are up, they're doing what they're supposed to do, they're doing chores, then they get access to electronics and TV devices, right? It's like a reward system. And that's kind of the way the world works. If you're in balance, if you're in line, if you're open and you're speaking of love and joy and creativity, then the universe provides. So we should be teaching our children through the lens of love. How do you take care of yourself? How do you live? How do you make the world go round? How do we remain healthy? But see, we forgot how to do that. In the medical field, we give our power away to them too, because we were told to. Don't get me wrong, there might be times when we may need some things from them. Some of it will stay. But if you notice, even more and more practitioners are turning into a holistic way. Medications are not the answer. How many people do you know that are so tied to medicational pull that if they don't have these, they won't survive? That is not reality. That is not God. We're not meant to be sick. In a higher vibrational state, we don't get sick. Recently, I had to call my power back from my body as well, and I am, and it's kicking my butt. I'm working out extremely hard every day, walking almost 5,000 steps in total every day. I've been doing it up, right? I move the energy movement. We can't remain stagnant. That's not normal either. Everything should be in balance. You should be able to read into your body and know what it needs. You should be able to read into your body and go, ooh, the sugar doesn't feel so good. I need this. What do I need today? And hear your body respond to you. Right? And we get off track doing that, don't we? So where do you give your power away? Do you give your power away to fear of money? Because they manipulate us so well in that, money's energy, and it all has to be cleansed through the lens of God. It will be anyways. Money is no exception to the rule. I plucked all GMO farms because that was a part of why autism is here and everything else. And that I can guarantee you. They genetically modify everything that we were, okay? And our bodies were not designed to do that. They were changing our composition. And through the gates, I can heal DNA, but there are times like when I put the animals through where they couldn't make it through at all because they were too manipulated. Some of them I couldn't bring them all the way through into the new earth because their DNA was changed so much. And then there's this report lately that they're releasing all of these, genetically modified mosquitoes over certain areas. I saw a video on that on YouTube the other day. Do I believe it? Hell yeah, I do, because I actually saw things like that when I was taking the animals through the gates. Okay. So you really don't realize how much we give our power away. God says everything should be love. Nobody should hate anybody. Everybody should love everybody because I love all of you, no matter who you are. If you choose to hurt somebody, you remove yourself from God. God does not judge. Can you always work your way back? Yeah. So the best thing you can do for God is go within and love yourself more and more every day. Look at where you give your power away. Where do I give my power away? To my friends? Am I afraid to say no when something doesn't feel right? Am I afraid that if I say no, they're not going to be my friend? If that's the case, they're not really your friend. Okay. We get so afraid. We need to fit in. We need to do this. We need to do that. I'm smaller and smaller and smaller. I can't allow my light to outshine anybody else. God forbid my light is brighter than theirs. We give our power away to our parents first, right? Parents, a lot of times don't realize they cause us to have to give our power away. We don't have a voice. We don't have decisions of our own we can make. I always give my children a choice, and I should more and more, right? Am I perfect? No, it's a work in progress. But do you give your children a choice? Now, this has to be a choice within the mentality in which they're capable of, because they're not fully developed until they're 25. They don't understand consequences so much. Okay. So give them a choice in which they can understand and allow them to help create the reality around them. This is, first of all, where we start giving our power away. And some of us have it worse than others. By golly, don't we? Oh my gosh, don't we ever? And this is going to lead me into my free giveaway. This free giveaway is a course that I did. It's a very important one. It's a 2-part one, which you can't receive the other part until you've made it through the 13 gates, or it'll hurt you. We experienced that. But, abundance should be rightfully everybody's. And if we aren't calling our power back in every way, in the new earth, you have to be in your full power. Call it in and be open to receive it. Feel into it and fix the issue. Put up your protections, protect yourself, and know when to. Cleanse your energy and know how to. Okay? You have to be in your full power. And so it's a really, 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 really good idea to ask yourself every day, where am I giving my power away? Why am I giving my power away? Do I give it to my boss because I'm afraid they're going to fire me? I'm sorry. Let me give you an example here. I was in massage school, like in my 20s, my early 20s. And this is where I first had Christ light come through me. And I didn't put that together yet because my DM and I bring the event. It's massive Christ light that comes through. And it happened while I was giving a massage to my instructor because I was in the zone, right? Like I knew this was a part of who I am. I'm a healer. I can heal virtually. I can heal remotely. You don't have to be with me. I can literally come to you energetically. But I also can heal with my hands. And this is why I also do movement. Okay. Because I ended up bringing all this light through my instructor, and it knocked her on her ass. And she told me some things I didn't expect to hear and kind of freaked me out because I didn't know who I was back then. But in that process, while I was going to school, I had these teachers come in, and they were males. And one of them looked at me and he's like, I can help you get that A. And I knew what he meant. I was banging. I was so beautiful. And he wanted me to give him gratitude for my reward of an A. And I literally looked at him straight in his face and said, I can get that A on my own. And I didn't care if I was kicked out of class. I would have dropped that class so fast if I needed to. But I literally got pissed off and told him, no, thank you. I will get it on my own. I've had that happen so many times in my world of work, okay, where people would say, well, I'll do this for you if you give me that, right? Everything is a manipulation. Everything was based in fear and control and power. Where do you give your power away? Would you accept something like that? Would you be afraid if you didn't do something for somebody else, you weren't going to get what you wanted? If you didn't take the V, you were going to lose your job. You know what I say? F the job. Because I know money is energy and we can call it in. Okay. Besides, you want money that comes from the universe and God, not dirty, right? Not filled with drugs and blood and manipulation and control. Because not only did I pluck the GMOs, I took money and I put it through a portal as well. So everything has to come through the lens of God. Everything you do. It's kind of like being God-like more and more every day, right? Where am I not in the lens of God? Where am I not doing things through the lens of God? What would God want me to do? What would Jesus want me to do, right? What would Jesus do? Remember those bracelets? God, Jesus, me, myself, my DM, I'm sure the baseline is love. Everything has to be through love. Self-love, unconditional love, acceptance, ownership, right? Being tough, being in your own power. I can do this. I can do anything I want to do. I can do everything I want to do. And I don't need you to make me do it, right? I don't need anybody else to tell me I can in order for me to be able to. So where do you give your power away? We give it away to our children because sometimes we think we have to, or we're afraid to, or we don't know what we're doing. We give it away to our animals because we think that they're supposed to be like us. We need to love them like our children, when you don't realize is they're animals. They need love, but they also need structure in an animal form, right? We give it away to our bosses because we're so afraid that if we don't comply, if we don't go to work, if we don't do this, if we don't do that, we're fired. We won't have money to pay the bills, to live in this false structured environment where most people are suffering through. And those that are suffering will begin to rise. Those that are tortured and alone and not recognized and controlled will be freed. They already are being freed now. So it's extremely important to ask yourself every day in your environment, where do I give my power away? And then call it back. But be willing to stand in your power. Like my body recently was screaming at me. Something was wrong. It was screaming at me. I had a thing pop up that was precancerous. I had some pains that I didn't understand, and it was screaming at me until finally I woke up one day and said, enough pain. I went to a doctor and it was the worst experience. Like, they did blood work. That was the only positive because I got some more answers. But in truth, my body was already telling me what I needed, and I just wasn't listening because I've been so used to being judged, unrecognized, and fighting for my life through the ascension. And I realized, oh snap, I haven't called my power back there yet. I haven't been paying attention to what I'm eating. I haven't been paying attention to the balance of my own physical vessel. I sat too long. I worked at a job I hated. Everything was really getting to me, right? And the moment I realized the doctor was not a good experience at all, and Spirit reminded me, you are in your full power, because part of the ascension is we remove all of those things out of our system. I don't do medications. I'm not on anything. My vessel is completely pure from all of that. I took my power back. I used to smoke. I took my power back from that. I used to smoke pot. I took my power back from that. Everything you do, you need to take your power back. Okay. Like I said, the doctors was a horrible experience, and I was reminded why. Because the medical profession has to fall in a very big way. A lot of it was not created through the lens of God. Okay. Medications, the suffering. My dad died from those medications. That is what killed my dad, was all the medications they put him on. All these things just came flooding into me. And again, I looked at my body and I said, I'm sorry. What do you need? And then immediately I started that path. And within 2 days, my energy's been back. I already feel better. Okay. Those pains that I was having are gone immediately. It was my body screaming at me, hello, hello, take your power back. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I got stuck in lack. So it's very, very, very important to look at where you give your power away. If you think the earth doesn't provide everything you need, you're wrong. We have foods that nurture our soul, but what they do to them makes us unwhole. So pay attention to where you give your power away. Can you hear your body? Can you say no to somebody without being afraid that they're going to leave your side? Let them go. Because those who are truly meant to be there will always stay there, no matter what fallacies you create in a day. Okay. If you make a mistake, those who truly love you will be right there to say, oops, let's do that different. I love you. Whoops. We all do this stuff. Okay. We have been taught so much. We give our power away to our relationships, our husbands, our wives. We've been taught to be abusive and controlling and manipulative, emotionally, physically, financially. My ex-husband used to do all of the above. He was abusive in every single way: money control, mental manipulation, and it was bad. They diagnosed me with CPTSD after that one and said he was an extreme narcissist. So I get all of it. I've been pretty much single since. When I wasn't, it was still a bad experience. Okay. So I'm telling you now, pay attention to where you give your power away, because in the new earth, you have to be fully in your power. Every portal, you will be tested by your karmic patterning, and you've just got to choose love. The path home gets you there. That's your guaranteed path. But if you choose not to take the path that God created, make sure you know what to do. Okay. Look every day at where you give your power away. Where do you give your power away? And call it back. But be willing to do so. Do you suffer until somebody comes and saves you? Nobody's going to come save you. God gave you your power back. Use it. Use your voice. Speak your truth. Shine your light, because it just might be you that helps somebody else do the same. Our mental health wreaked havoc on our mental health. This world did. It's time for you to take your power back. The more you take power back from your mind and go into your body and stay in the here and the now only, is the place you create magic from. The more you let go and realize there's no limitations except for those that you allow to be put forth on you, the more powerful you become. Take your power back today, my friends. It is so important. Every energy portal, every moon phase, because of the work that I did, you have to call your power back. It's a continual. You have to get your power back from the mind. You have to get your power back from your body, or how they removed you from your body. Take it back and get in there. You have to get your power back from money and time. All of these things, all the falsehoods have been undone. That's what I've been doing for the past 4 years. Time has been rewound back to the beginning of time, and I ascended Atlantis as well. So nothing will be how everybody expects it to be. Take your power back and take it back now. Start with asking yourself where you give it away. Pay attention, get a little journal and call it my power journal, right? I'm a powerful creator. Show me where I give my power away today, and then pay attention to all of the signs in which you give your power away. Those that make you feel helpless, alone, like you have no control over what happens to you unless you do this, unless you do that. Pay attention to where you give your power away. Do we allow our kids to make us angry? Pay attention to where you give your power away. Number 1, then call it back every day. Now, the free gift I'm going to be giving everybody, thank you to those who watched till the end. You'll know where the free gift will be. It will be in the link below this video. It is a course of mine. It is the 12 gates of prosperity, or the 12 gates to abundance. There is 13 gates. Once you get to the new earth, I actually have the 13th gate to abundance as well, but you cannot do that one until you're in the new earth. But the 12 gates to abundance really truly does open up your gates and allow you to start purging all of those 12 gates. Okay, this is bigger than anyone you've ever had. It is not a normal healing. It is not like going to any other healer on this planet and saying, heal my gates to abundance. It is ascension related, and it's free. I'm giving it away to you for free today because I want you to call your power back. This is not how to call your power back course. That is also actually in the path to righteousness. I call your power back. Then you go through stepping stones to awakening. Then I start taking you through the gates. Okay. This, I'm telling you how to call your power back by starting to call it back. Start recognizing where you give it away. Okay. If you want a healing on that for right now, do the path to righteousness. Otherwise, what I want you to be able to do is open up the 12 gates and start calling back your abundance. Okay, because the new earth is all about abundance. It's all about freedom and joy and love and you being a powerful creator. So I'm telling you, do the path to righteousness because it's the one God provided. But that's okay if you don't think you can or you want to right now. Take the 12 gates to abundance, the 12 steps to abundance, and allow me to give you free healing. Okay? And by all means, call your power back. Everything has got to be filtered through God from now on. That is unconditional love, my friends. And anything that is outside of unconditional love at all whatsoever, in any way, shape, or form, from judgment, fear, expectations, all of the above, cannot survive. Okay? The event is a white solar flash, one like you've never experienced before. And what does not align to God won't survive. So take this time and at the very least, start calling your power back and go through healing. 12 gates of abundance is yours, my friends. The link is below. If you do use it, just say thank you. Let me know that you're taking the 12 gates to abundance because it's free. It's my gift to you if you listen to the video. Thank you, everybody. So much love to all of you. It's time to call your power back from the medical field, from the financial institution, from your relationships with your children. They have their own power and you have yours. It's time to learn to balance those. All of everything that doesn't belong, that belongs to the matrix, will fall. You have to be detaching yourself moment by moment, breath by breath, step by step, because it's all going to fall and you don't want to fall with it. I'm pretty sure you don't, no matter who you are. I love you all dearly. Just know that I'm with you. And please understand that what I say is very layered and deep, and I can prove it to you. So don't judge, don't delay, like and subscribe, stick around and take the time to watch the videos that I post, because everything I say is meaningful. So much love. I'll see you tomorrow or the next day. Bye.